Hello everyone, and this is Nursky coming to you guys for MLG TV with the rubber match, game number 3 of this pool play Group D matchup. And we're going to get straight into the introductions. First off, spawning as the Red Terran this time, representing Team Evil Geniuses, Puma. And his opponent spawning as the Blue Zerg, representing Team Liquid, Rhett. This is going to be on the map MLG IC Cup Test Bug, or just MLG Test Bug, whatever way you want to put it. Originally an IC Cup map. And we definitely had a very interesting game number 1 and number 2 between our two opponents, as we did see a very lopsided game in favor of Puma in game number 1, very lopsided game in favor of Rhett in game number 2, so it's really anybody's guess how this game number 3 is really going to go. See, Puma is going to be walling off on the high ground here. Do occasionally see people try and do a little bit more of a fast expand play on this map, although it can be a little bit dangerous. Not the widest of naturals, but also not the narrowest. Would not be surprised at all to see Rhett virtually open up the same way he has in the previous 2 games. But Puma definitely going to be at bare minimum opening a little bit differently, because we do see he has not taken any gas just yet, although if he would be taking gas, he'd be doing it shortly here in just a moment after he does get this first barracks a little bit underway. So it's going to be interesting to see if he does take an early gas, or if he's maybe going to go with a gasless opener, go for a faster expand. You see Rhett getting his hatchery down now. Will undoubtedly be getting his pool up not too long after that. You see Puma actually now this game going to be doing a completely different build from the previous 2 games. Going to be going for a 2 racks opener, just minerals. Now, Rhett has not scouted this yet. Rhett really not actually even scouting at all just yet. Has just now thrown his pool down. Does have his hatchery on the way, so it looks like Puma wants to try and punish him for going hatch first in the previous 2 games. Question is, will he actually be able to do so? Do see Puma right now moving out with his first scouting SCV. Does have his barracks rallied down to that position. Even going to be setting out a secondary SCV. Going to be doing a little bit of a 2 SCV into some bunkering action, no doubt, will be his plan. As we do see the first Marine moving out as well. We do see that first SCV will scout the location of Rhett's pool. Only about 75-80% done. Same with his expansion hatchery. So going to be very close in the timings here. We do see actually one of his secondary SCVs just getting rallied over here to the zone like a tower. Down goes that SCV, and Rhett right away with a couple of drones attacking that SCV. Now backing up. Going to be interesting to see if Rhett throws down a fast spine crawler or not. And we see him pulling a bunch of his drones now. Wants to try and defend this bunker rush if he can. Should be able to pick off the initial SCV. And going to be very close. But no, the SCV goes back to the other side of the bunker. And that is going to delay this slightly for Rhett to be able to try and hold us with that SCV hidden on the other side of the bunker, such that it is other SCV actually repairing this one. Do you see that Rhett has started a spine crawler, but the bunker is going to finish before the spine crawler, and that will allow the Marines to attack this. We do see Rhett's going to try and move in and do some damage to some of these Marines, but now the Marines are out on the map. Do you see Rhett building a lot of Lings and drones, going to try and cut these Marines off from the bunker, but no, the Marines will get into this bunker, and now Rhett is going to try and defend this with just his drones, losing a couple of drones. Already needs to retreat the remainder of those drones so he does not lose them. Spine crawler is now up, can start damaging this bunker. Has taken some damage just during its construction, and it does look like Rhett is going to be able to hold this. Queen on the way now, going to be helping to finish out that bunker. Does look like Puma does try and salvage it in time. 1 Marine will get over here to Rhett's mineral line. Do not know if he'll actually be able to pick anything off, but this Marine going to have a really hard time doing it. No. Does a little bit of damage to a couple of the drones, but that will be it. Spine crawler still at about 50% health. Ling speed now on the way for Rhett, and now he can get some extra queens up to just continue along a more normal build upon holding that bunker rush. Definitely dealt with that much better than he did in game number 1. Do see that Puma, though, is going to be getting up an expansion command center, so Puma by no means all in on that bunker rush or anything like that. Very rarely would any Terran ever be. And we do see double gas going to be going up after he does have that expansion underway, so he's going to start teching up now. Does have these 2 barracks and a lot of Marines. Could potentially still move out on the map and try and do some damage to Rhett. Rhett going to be scouting forward with a couple of his Zerglings, placing them very smartly around the map to basically guard any possible direction Puma could potentially come out of his base from. Does have that second queen now finally getting up. So we'll have his 2 queens. A lot of gas Mining's probably going to be going down pretty soon here. Yes, now adding a couple of drones to this gas once again, so you can start to go to layer tech. A lot of players have been leaving just one drone in gas at sometimes, and it has actually been working out pretty well for a lot of Zerg players. Does have his metabolic boost up. Now we see that Puma is going to be getting up a factory. That expansion command center is just about to finish up. Also has these 2 barracks, and actually going to be going double factory behind this. So this is a very interesting play here by Puma, going double factory. So definitely going to be going with, more likely be going with some kind of mech oriented transition here out of this 2 racks play. Off of this double gas and his initial orbital command is going to be morphing that second expansion command center into an orbital command. You see that Rhett already getting up his 3rd base now, so Rhett doing a very good job of macroing up, taking one of his queens and spreading some creep forward. Needs always essential for Zerg players to get that creep spread going forward on the map. Do see he has actually now started his lair, going to be getting his baneling nest as well and taking some additional gases so he can start to tech once he does hit lair. Do see Puma though is now going to finally be expanding out here over to his natural, and now we do see what Puma's going to be doing with these initial factories. He's going to be going blue flame Hellion, so this is kind of a throwback to MLG Anaheim where almost every Terran under the sun was going blue flame Hellions. I do see the blue flame upgrade on the way, 2 factories to produce these Hellions. No add-ons to any of his buildings just yet, but these Hellions will still be extremely deadly against Zerglings. A couple of Lings are going to try and run by here. Do not know if they'll get up into the base, and it does look like they will get into the base of Puma. They will see both of those factories. They'll see the tech lab. They will see the Hellions, so Rhett will know that Puma is undoubtedly going to probably be going for the blue flame Hellions. Now, this is a somewhat delayed blue flame Hellion, so Rhett does have his Spire underway, does have a baneling nest up. Baneling speed could be under the way momentarily, but does not currently have it underway just yet. There goes down the baneling speed. So it is possible to defend these blue flame Hellions with some banelings and some spine crawlers, but this is going to be a very strong push by Puma. Do see that he is just a few seconds away from having that blue flame upgrade. Has a lot of Marines clearing out a ton of these hard pushed out creep from Rhett. Now they're going to run into those spine crawlers, and it looks like Puma is going to just back up for now, but now he is probably going to be checking on the 3rd of Rhett. If he does, it'd be absolutely terrible for Rhett, because Rhett would have no way to defend it. But actually, Puma not going to check the 3rd expansion, and instead just going to decide to back up. Maybe just a slight judgment error there, not checking for that 3rd expansion. Does now check for it with just 1 Marine. We'll see it is up, but has sent his army already all the way across the map. So now turning around Puma. So a little bit of indecision there. Now going to be moving towards that 3rd base expansion of Rhett. Rhett does not have any defenses up just yet. Waiting on baneling speed right now. It looks like he'll, if necessary, just sacrifice his expansion. But oh no, Rhett with a couple of overlords actually popping out of this expansion, and this is going to be kind of terrible for Rhett because he will be supply blocked as those overlords do now go down. And yet a 3rd overlord popping out of this expansion, and Rhett will lose as well. But here comes a bunch of banelings. They do not have baneling speed yet, do kill a lot of the Marines, but there is still some Marines left alive, and one of those blue flame Hellions. Rhett is going to lose his 3rd overlord. Does not have any other overlords actually morphing at this expansion. Will lose the drones. That might actually lose the 3rd hatchery as well. Does not have any units really to defend this whatsoever. Is just now starting his Mutalisks production. Very heavily oversaturated in his main. Oversaturated at his natural. And no 3rd to actually place those drones at. We do see he is trying to take another 3rd over here at this top expansion. But right now Puma in a pretty darn good position. But look at the income tab right now. Rhett at 72 drones to just the 50 harvesters of Puma, but right now Rhett really not being able to make use of them, even taking a 4th expansion over here way at the up at the top here near the natural of the other expansion point. But now we do see Puma is just switching into a normal tank Marine backbone behind this. A couple of tanks, a couple of Marines already out, so he is going to be switching from that very Hellion-oriented style of play into a more traditional Marine tank style of play, which should be a very good transition if Rhett would have gone Roaches, but really Rhett didn't. Did take some damage from those blue flame Hellions, but Rhett actually, by not going Roaches, will be much more prepared for this transition out of the blue flame Hellions. You see Puma is going to be moving out and be knocking down the rocks at this Nalaga tower. Rhett immediately going over here to try and deny Puma the ability to take a 3rd, and will actually temporarily deny Puma the ability to take a 3rd. So we do see Puma though gearing up to make another big push towards Rhett's space. Question is, will Rhett actually be able to defend this? Mutalisk take a couple of shots and now going to be retreating. Rhett desperately needs some Banelings morphed in. Needs to get them morphed in soon as well. We do see he has a bunch of Lings over here. Looks like he's going to go for a run-by on Puma. I do not know how effective that's actually going to be. It is only one bunker over here at the natural Puma. So here comes the run-by by Rhett. But Puma does immediately get those Marines in there. Now we do see a lot of those Lings. And now here comes some SCVs as well. So Puma will take a little bit of damage from this, but not going to take a lot of damage as the Marines come and clean everything up. And if we look at the workers killed tab, we do see that Rhett with only 4 workers killed, so doing hardly any damage to Puma at all. We do see he is not going to be trying to move in with these mutas and try and pick off a tank, but does not actually manage to get the tank. Just does a little bit of damage to it, but now Puma moving forward once again and does lose one of his tanks. Right now Puma in a very good location, and right now moving forward with a bunch of his Banelings and loses them all on one of the tanks. That could be an absolutely huge blunder there by Rhett that could actually lead to him losing the game. A couple of more Banelings now morphing and picking off some of the Marines, but there are still a lot of Marines left. We now see some more misrallied Overlords getting picked off by Puma. This is going to supply block Rhett once again. No longer will be able to make any forces. See a severely supply block now. A lot of mismanaged Overlords, and down goes the GG. Puma is going to win game number 3. So Rhett with a little bit of a misclick there with some of his Banelings, lost them all in the tank, lost a few mutas to the Marines, and really just was not prepared at all to deal with the play that Puma went with, going with that 2 racks into those Blue Flame Hellions, and then into that very fast tank Marine push, and Rhett with a lot of economy going behind him, but not enough forces to actually hold it all off. So that is going to be it for now, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my YouTube at youtube.com/NurskiSC. And for now, this is going to be Nursky saying peace easy, guys. For MLG TV, I am out.